crazy is this?
Crazy. I know we said everything else was, but
Yeah, this really is.
stops it.
Alright, so it was our last full day in Kolkata. We leave tomorrow for Bodh Gaya. But today we visited these massive slums. We crossed the Hooghly River to go see the giant banyan tree, which unfortunately we weren't really allowed to film. We still did a little bit. But yeah, and then we met this young man, a really nice young man. And he recommended that we go see Belmont. I guess it's some, I don't know if it was British Imperial Palace or estate or school or what exactly it was, but it was right on the river, the Hooghly River, and there's ghats down below, I suppose, we were not down there. But it was absolutely incredible. It was, the structure itself was beautiful and magnificent. Would be more the word, but getting there was the trip, was the experience. It was unreal, really. It took quite some time. It was only apparently 10-15 kilometers, but I think it took us like 45 minutes an hour getting there because the slums and the ghettos were so crowded and congested with people, and we thought that we seen something crazy where we've been filming, you know, as you've been hearing us talk about how crazy we thought it was. What we've been seeing can't even hold a candle to what we just saw. Is changes my whole concept of poverty, but it wasn't all ugly. Like, yes, there was garbage, animals, and you know, thinner people for the most part, not everyone. But still, even in this biggest slum that I've ever seen, there was something cool about them. Like, you still seen people living their lives kind of the way that we do at home, but with almost more of a community. Like, people were out on the streets more, talking to each other more. It looked like the children were playing, you know, chasing each other. Dogs were lying in shaded areas, lounging around. You know, people were hard at work, laboring. Shops were selling goods, you know. We drove past some parts where these ladies had vegetable markets kind of lined up along the streets and people were buying them. But the traffic though was just unreal. I thought we were going to die 1,000 times. It actually kind of brings up a good point that Mike and I observed, which is that you know, if you had a bunch of Canadians or Americans or anyone, you know, almost anyone other than the Indians, I think we'd all kill each other. Not only would we crash into each other, but we would all want to kill each other. And it was kind of amazing. Actually, no, not kind of. It was miraculous that nobody even nicked each other, hit each other. And I mean, I guess you'll have to see the footage of it to really understand what I mean. Like, people were flying past each other within inches. There's no right or wrong side of the road. There's everything from pedestrians to animals to tuk-tuks. No, sorry, there weren't like tuk-tuks there. They were kind of like bicycle form tuk-tuks. And then buses, big buses, lots of them, cars, and taxis, of course, if I didn't already mention those. And it's like this crazy dance that just seems to work. And I will never look at traffic the same way again back home. I will never look at even driving, when I'm driving back home the same way. Like, we just can't maneuver like they maneuver there. And I don't think we could keep our cool the way they all kept their cool. and maybe put in the right circumstances we would, but that was, yeah, that was something very impressive. And another thing about what I just seen there, what we just seen, is that I strongly believe that every experience in life, every sight, every scent, everything affects us and shapes us and molds us into who we become, one way or the other, right? Some of them are very subtle, but some things are very drastic. And man, witnessing that, that was, for lack of better terms, and not to sound cliche, but that is life-changing stuff. You don't look at poverty the same way again when you've seen poverty on that level, or filth, or crowdedness, or traffic. But like I said, it's not all negative. It wasn't all negative at all. It was, not going to use the word beautiful, but it was alive, very alive.
So we are currently making our way across India on the train up to Bodh Gaya. It's incredible how fast we escaped the city. You know, on the train, just, I don't know, seemed like maybe 10 minutes. There were farms and villages. Completely different landscape. Like, look at this. Granted, this is about 3 hours outside of Kolkata now, but it's very cool to see. It's a very diverse country, very beautiful country. I feel very privileged to have this opportunity to see it. Quite certain that Mike does too. He's been really taking this in. Definitely. We've had a lot of very insightful conversations, and it's cool to see him experience this as well as it is to experience this for myself.